Hey, how's it going? This is House Kit MMA, and today I'm going to be going over my top 5 upsets in UFC history. Number 1 on this list is GSP versus Matt Serra. Matt Serra at this point was 5-4 in the UFC. He had just won season 4 of The Ultimate Fighter. He was a plus 850 underdog, and he was a 5'6" welterweight. On the other hand, we had GSP, who had just dethroned Matt Hughes. And you got to think, at this point, almost 20 years ago, Matt Hughes was not necessarily the face of the UFC, but he was the best the UFC had ever seen to date. He had gotten the title from Carlos Newton, defended it 5 times. He lost it to BJ Penn, came back, regained it, defended it twice, and lost it to GSP when they had their rematch. And he couldn't do anything with GSP. GSP straight up ran a pain train on him. So I think the only 2 people giving Serra a chance in this fight were probably Matt Serra and perhaps Ray Longo. But Serra got it done. He knocked him out in 3 minutes and 25 seconds. And the amount of joy he had to feel after winning that fight is an amount that most people do not get to feel in their lives. So that was pretty cool. Number 2 on this list is Holly Holm versus Ronda Rousey. Holly Holm at this point was 3-0 in the UFC, 10-0 overall. She was a plus 825 underdog because if somebody didn't see it happen in real time, it's kind of hard to describe the hype that was Ronda Rousey. Her trainer, Edmund Tarverdyan, was saying that she could box professionally if she wanted to. Joe Rogan was saying she's a once-ever athlete. Rousey was saying that she's going to retire undefeated. And at the time, I believed her. I couldn't fathom a female beating Ronda Rousey. That's how captivating she was. But Holm went in there and Rousey couldn't deal with her strength, couldn't deal with her size. The thing she liked to do when she liked to create scrambles and come out on top with an armbar. Next thing you know, the girl's tapping. That wasn't working. So after that didn't work, Rousey didn't really have an answer. So in the second round, Holly Holm kicked her head off almost. I actually believe that if she kicked her any harder, she actually would have kicked her head off. So that's number 2. Number 3 on this list is BJ Penn versus Frankie Edgar. At this point, Frankie Edgar was 6-1 in the UFC. His lone loss was to Gray Maynard. He had just beat Sean Shurkin at the time that held some weight. So it was not crazy for him to be in there with BJ Penn. But BJ Penn had just got done kicking Diego Sanchez's head open. And and before that, he choked Kenny Florian out as if Florian had cussed his mom for little to no reason at all. So they fought to a razor close decision, Frankie Edgar and BJ Penn. And Frankie Edgar won. 8 out of 9 media outlets scored the fight for Penn, but it was razor close. It could have gone either way. I've watched that fight a few times, and I can't call it. It was such a close fight. So that's number 3 on the list. Frankie Edgar plus 725 underdog. This took place at UFC 112 on April 10th of 2010. Number 4 on this list is Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena. And everybody knows Juliana Pena is solid. Everybody knows she's good, but nobody was accusing her of being a future champion. Going into this fight, she was a plus 625 underdog. And Nunes had just defended her title 8 times. She beat Shevchenko twice. She beat Germaine de Randamie. She beat Miesha Tate. She beat Ronda Rousey. And she beat Chris Cyborg. So they go in there and Pena rear naked chokes her in the second round. And I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. I was living in Las Vegas at the time, and I put $10 on Paney to win, and I got 650 back. So that was pretty tight. Number 5 on this list is Michael Bisping versus Luke Rockhold. Michael Bisping going into this fight was a plus 550 underdog. And he was just that fighter that was going to win a couple, lose one, win 3 straight, lose one, win one, then lose another, maybe even win 4 straight, then lose another, win one, lose one. That's the kind of fighter he was. Solid, but probably not going to win the belt. And going into this fight, they were having a rematch, Rockhold and Bisping. A year and a half prior, Rockhold kicked the shit out of Bisping. So, and Bisping didn't even earn the title shot. He was filling in for Chris Weidman because Weidman and Rockhold were going to have their rematch, but Weidman hurt himself somehow. So Bisping was filling in. So they kind of go in there, and Rockhold kind of has his chin not straight up in the air, but he had it up there. And he kind of had a smug look on his face, and Bisping clipped him and knocked him out 3 minutes and 36 seconds into the first round. But looking back on it, if you watch the first fight they had in 2014, Rockhold did basically kick the shit out of him. But because Rockhold kind of fights kind of loose. And Bisping's, he's tight. He's tight. Very fundamental. So Bisping had moderate success cutting off the octagon and tapping him here or there. So when you look back at that fight, it's actually not crazy to see why Bisping was able to clip him like he did, because their striking styles. Bisping had a bad striking style for Rockhold. So that actually, I don't even think it was too much of a fluke. I think Bisping did actually legitimately catch him. And I think that their striking was actually very similar. It's just when they got to the ground, Rockhold's just such a strong grappler. And I met Rockhold one time, fun fact. But this is House Cat MMA, and I'll catch y'all later.